Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a grey, overcast Saturday morning here in Budapest. Now, I didn't film much yesterday because basically it was a stag do and there were some boys out getting messy and I had to go and watch them. But here I am. I didn't drink. I came home. I made videos, in fact. So I'm bright and breezy this morning. That's where I'm staying up there. That's the balcony I've stood on quite often. I want to show you something here. This is interesting, just to give you some perspective. This junction here is the start of Andrassy Street. I probably pronounced it wrong, but it's a tree-lined boulevard that goes all the way down there. In fact, we're going to be following it in a minute because what we're going to see is down there. But interestingly, if you go that way on that road and you stay on that road for about 195 miles, you come to the border of Ukraine. That way, 195 miles. That shows you how far east we are, ladies and gentlemen. But the first job today is to visit the underground, because this underground here is second only in age to parts of the London Underground. So let's head down and explore line 1, shall we? Line 1 is the oldest underground line in mainland Europe. Comes in only second to the London Underground. That's a very basic station. The line is there literally a few feet below the street level. It's a World Heritage Site as designated by UNESCO. And as you see, you walk down from the street just a very short way and you're on a platform. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. This is completely different. Now,
Az opera következik.
well, we're further along Andrassy Street. As you can see, it's a very long tree-lined boulevard, and that railway that we're on is running right under the road along there. Now, the reason we've come here is because that is the Hungarian Opera House. Let's go and see. The zebra crossings here are governed by traffic lights, but when there's no traffic, you can ignore them. So here we go, the Opera House. I largely wanted to visit this place because Mum would have loved it here. Mum was with me now. This probably would have been the first place we visited. So I'm going to go inside and take a look around. Well, there's a ceiling, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. We've not even got in the door yet. We're going to go in there. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Now this is sumptuous. It's the main opera house up there. Ladies and gentlemen, this building is lush. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come a little bit further along Andrassy Street because the train runs under it. To this place I wanted to come and visit. This is the House of Terror Museum, which we're going to go and have a look at in a minute. But first, Look at this. This is a monument to the Iron Curtain, as it was. Because where we are here, obviously, we were behind the Iron Curtain. So I just want to show you this. As you can see, it's made up of chains. But at the end, there's some words. Shall we live as slaves or free men? Sandor Petoffi. It isolated the East from the West. It split Europe and the world in two. It took away our freedom. It held us in captivity and fear, tormented and humiliated us. And finally, we tore it down. And now look at it. It's a vibrant city. They've even got that bus there, I think, goes in the river. That one's a waterproof bus. It floats. Look at that. Oh, here we are. Let's go and find out. I believe this place had a role to play in some of this terror, but let's go find out some more, shall we? I believe these are people that have disappeared inside this building. Let's just have a look at them all, shall we? You can slow this down and read the details if you want. I think the people in the West, people like me who were lucky to live on the left-hand side of the curtain, as you look at it, probably the lucky ones. We didn't have to put up with any of this that went on here. As we go in, a lot of this might be in Hungarian, I don't know, but it's all these people disappeared and never came back. All of these people, all of the people you see around this building, these photographs of people who never came back. The victims, they call them. All of these people never came back. This is the Room of Tears. It represents a graveyard. All around the walls are the names of people who were killed between 45 and 67. Lights you see there are Russian torches, and they represent the people who had to leave this country to stay alive. This is where they hung them. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where they were shot. So there we are, looking back down Andrassy Street. You can just about make out the big wheel and the hills on the other side of the river. We've come along there and it's brought us to Hero Square. Hero Square is one of the major squares in Budapest, noted for its iconic Millennium Monument. And this is the Memorial Stone of Heroes, often referred to as the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Hero Square is one of the major squares in Budapest, noted for its iconic Millennium Monument. These statues here feature the 7 chieftains of the Magyars and other important Hungarian national leaders. This one's Tas. And then there's Abba. And there's Elod. This guy up front, obviously taking key position, is a guy called Arpad. Also here are the Museum of Fine Arts and the Palace of Art. This square has played an important part in contemporary Hungarian history and has been host to many political events. Coming in over there is Andrassy, Andrassy Street, which I live along the bottom of. And if you come around and carry on, that's the road to Ukraine. Just keep going down that road and don't stop and you'll come to Ukraine. They are very good at these squares here in Europe. We don't seem to do big squares like this so much. So, this is certainly a grand place to come. So as you can see on the map here, we've actually left the city and we've kind of headed out to the northeast to this square. So I'm going to head back to the station now and we're going to hop back on that train and take it back into the city because there's some things in the city that I want to show you. And I thought if we head down there from here, we can go and have a look. One thing I will point out, ladies and gentlemen, the square and everything we've just visited is over there. The tube station by which visitors arrive is over there. There's a crossing to cross that road, but this huge road here, which crosses, you have to cross to get to the square, is a 6-lane motorway almost, and I can't see a crossing. They really do not like pedestrians in this city. Everything is geared towards getting cars moving. Don't know why. So here's the station and we're going to head back into town. Quick, you feel a warm breeze as you come down these steps. That was good timing. Here comes our train.
A Bajza utca következik.
So there you go, look. It's been deep fried. Wonderful. And then drains, and then cheese is sprinkled on the top. Look at that. Oh, yes. Ooh, I'm really looking forward to this. Here comes the cheese. Lovely. Oh, nice. Ladies and gentlemen, langos. So I'm now going to eat. The smell of garlic and cheese coming off this langos is wonderful. Well, this is nearly all gone and it was really delicious. I'm here to tell you I really like these things. I'll be having more of these before I go home. I did. Yeah, you like that, didn't you? Well, that's going down the hole. We couldn't come all the way here and not see a Trabant, could we? This is a real Trabant.
The funniest part of this is that 15 years later...
You've got the dotting dog in the back, look at that. All mod cons. So laid out below us is the city of Budapest, with Buda on the left, Pest on the right. Down there is the chain bridge and beyond it you can see where we went to see the shoes yesterday. And when we started our journey up here, we were over there. by the big wheel. Beyond the big wheel you can see the church which is next to we're staying. So after climbing all the bloody way up here, this is as far as we get. Behind me you could probably make out the statue behind the Harris fencing, which stops you getting any closer. They could have told you that at the bottom of the hill rather than at the top. But hey, I think they've got a sense of humour out here. There it is. As close as we can get to it, sadly. As you can see, there is more statuary going on through there, but we can't get there. There's normally a stairwell you can stand on in front of that, and you got a cracking view across the city, but sadly not today, Il. I think at one point this might have been a toilet. It has a Victorian look, as does the lamppost to the right of it. And so a long, sad look back at where we just were, so near but so far. But, we'll have to come back when it's finished and see what it looks like up there, because it's a good old trek up there, I'll tell you. Sometimes the most interesting things aren't the most obvious, as proved by this wonderful well, I was going to call it a pop-up bookshop. It's actually more of a roll-up bookshop. Look, it's on a market stall. Books in different languages, second-hand books in different languages. Brilliant. Right here in the middle of Budapest. I love it. Now I know absolutely nothing about this building. I was told it was built during the communist era. The fountain obviously is a later addition. But the building itself is actually quite attractive, I thought. The road running underneath here is rather good, and they did like to build on a big scale. I should imagine when this was built it housed an awful lot of people. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. This is the end of part 2. We'll be back with part 3 very soon. But for now, bye bye, and thank you for watching.